I didn't even realize I'm on the same plane with Lewis Hamilton skydiving. The biggest project we ever did was like a 75K project. To me, it was crazy to think that somebody would pay 22, 23-year-old kid 75,000 for a video.
You are a business consultant for videographers. So you take the average videographer and you're helping them make crazy money.
Like that, a guy who made 240 grand in 1 month. I was so scared of taking phone calls. I didn't even dare to make my own restaurant reservation. Over the years that I got better at sales, I started to really enjoy it.
The following is a conversation with Nick Metzger, entrepreneur, a video business coach, and overall legend. And I got him here in person in Cyprus today, and he's going to share a lot of knowledge with you on how to build a coaching business, the mindset behind it, especially if you're someone that is very creative but wants to monetize that skill. So without any further ado, enjoy. All right, my man. So you did a half marathon before the podcast?
Yeah, man.
20 kilometers?
For breakfast.
Jesus Christ. So you do that before breakfast and then you grab breakfast?
Yeah.
How do you feel after that? I mean, aren't you dead as hell?
I mean, honestly, it's like if I do sports in the morning, it's done. You know,
it's out of the way, yeah.
It's that feeling of like accomplishment. I did something great today. So I feel good, honestly, after. Like,
and you're saying you're training for a marathon later this year or something like that?
Yeah, in fall.
Okay, sick. Where is that going to be?
In Lucerne, Switzerland. So I did a half marathon like last October, like that I raced, and I wanted to do that under 1:45, like 1 hour 45 minutes. I got it done in 1:44. So then I was like, okay, if I can do that, I can do a marathon, and I want to do it under 4 hours. The goal is 3:45.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm under 4 hours, like I'll take it.
What do you do on a 5K? How fast are you there? Have you ever?
Yeah, I actually recently did one, 44 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, but then I'm smoked, like I'm toast.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because my brother is literally like so good at running, and I'm like probably the least talented person in running. I've just done it disciplined for a long time now. But dude, my brother, like he runs a half marathon in an hour 13 minutes.
Jeez, man.
That is cheese.
Is that a younger brother or what?
My older brother.
What does he do? Other than running
He runs half marathons, man. Nah, he's a teacher.
Oh, really?
Teacher for chemistry and sports. So.
Of course. That's so funny. You know how many online entrepreneurs I know whose brothers are teachers? It's so funny.
No way.
It's so funny. There's always like at least one guy that just teaches. You know, it's super funny. But one thing that I notice when I'm running is my knees get fucked.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the wrong technique or something like that, or maybe I'm just too heavy of a person.
I thought that too. But honestly, it's two things. Number one, you might run too far when you run. Because like when I started running, I was like, oh, let me go on a 15-kilometer run.
Yeah.
And then your knees freaking hurt, your Achilles like heel hurts, like everything hurts. And then I realized, okay, I ran too far, number one. And number two, I had like freaking Converse shoes on. You know? So you train with like these weird sneakers, and you think, oh, it doesn't really matter. And then once you do a proper like running analysis and you get proper shoes and you start training, like doing 3 kilometers, and then the next one you do 4, and then the next one you do 5, and then suddenly you realize, oh, nothing hurts.
Yeah. Okay, so you got to work yourself to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you read the book Born to Run?
Nah.
That's a really, really sick book. You can get it as an Audible. It's about a tribe in Mexico, South America, called the Tarahumara. And it's like the entire tribe is built on running. Like everybody runs. Like the 80-year-old grandmas, the little 3-year-old kids, like they're just the entire tribe. Like their thing is running. And they don't obviously use shoes. They're just some random tribe in the jungle/deserts of Mexico, and they just all run. And the book is written by a journalist who was always into running, just like a Westerner, like a U.S. dude. And he at some point started having huge troubles with his knees because of exactly that. And then he tried everything. He tried like the best, most expensive Nike shoes with the most padding on it, and it would still be fucked. And then he heard about this tribe who just runs barefoot. / they run with like, they take apparently a piece of leather and they strap it with like strings to the bottom of their foot. so they don't, so when they hit a rock or something, the foot doesn't get cut open. But that's basically it. But there's no cushion, nothing.
That's crazy.
And he hears about that, and then he travels down there, and he lives with those folks for like whatever, a year or something. And they all just run for like 2 days straight. Just, hey, let's go for a run, like literally like that.
What?
And then he's, so he comes from this like the best shoes with the best scientific padding and have the best nutrition and the electrolytes. And then these Tarahumaras, what they do before a run, before like a 2-day run, is they smoke tobacco and eat and drink self-brewed beer. And they still outperform everybody else. And then he takes some of these tribe members, like the 20th best runner from the tribe, and he brings them to like an ultra marathon, and they all win everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, with like zero prep, zero of the science behind it. Yeah,
like these guys from that tribe that jump all the time.
Yeah,
have you seen that?
No.
Dude, that's crazy. So like they're barefoot as well, right?
Oh,
their thing is jumping, same as with these guys, which their thing is running. It's like these guys jump all day, every day, and their jumping power is so insane. Like with like straight legs, they're jumping out like 1.5 meters, and just like jump after jump, like a freaking kangaroo, you know? and you look at it and you're like, wait a second, what are we humans even capable to do? Like,
yeah,
crazy.
It's so like that. Like I said, like that is a book that I strongly recommend if you're into running to read. It's an audible thingy, like you blast through it. I don't know. But it really blew my mind about running. I don't run at all, but I'm like, when I do run, I will read this book again, because they also talk about how they run. So we Westerners, we run on our heels. When we run, the heels hit it. But what they do is they run on the palms of their feet. So that just naturally pats it, and the shock from you hitting the ground doesn't go to your knees because it gets absorbed by your foot just bending anyways. That's how I understood it from the audio version. I'm sure there's like videos that you can check out and stuff like that, but it's really, really interesting. But anyways, man, for people who don't know you, you are a business consultant for videographers.
Yes, sir.
So you basically take the average videographer who is undoubtedly creative and good at what they do, but most of those folks just don't make any money, and you're helping them make crazy money. I've seen it on your Instagram, like $50K a month. People, didn't you even have a guy that made like $70K or something like that?
A guy who made $240,000 in 1 month.
Jesus. Yeah. With videography.
Yeah.
What kind of work did he do? That was that one huge job for like Ferrari or something?
Nah, he's doing big jobs for big brands like AT&T and like brands like that. But to be fair, we have a lot of students that are making like 50, 60K a month, right? We have students that are in like the 100K range. Most of them doing anywhere between 20, 25K. I think that's kind of like the standard that you can do with normal B2B, like normal average mid-sized businesses, right? This guy specifically did big commercials, so for sure, and government projects. That is
government.
Yeah, dude, government projects is the funniest thing ever. It's like the decision-making cycle is so long. Like until you get the project, it takes forever.
Yeah.
But when you get it, it's like, here's our budget. Take it. Like, you take our money, and they don't care.
Taxpayers' money.
They don't care at all. We did government projects as well in my own video agency. And
what government? Can we say what countries?
Switzerland.
Okay. Of course.
Yeah. And the thing is this: they literally just do the projects on their terms, right? So you cannot get a government project. You cannot get a government to sign your contract. It's always their contracts.
Okay.
And in their contracts, it literally says, we can end the project at any time we want, right?
Wow.
So we were 2 months into this project, and these guys are just like, yeah, we decided to not do this. We'll stop. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like,
did they already pay you at least, or how?
They paid for these 2 months.
Yeah.
But then they didn't pay the remainder. It's like,
what did you have to do for 2 months to? You just filmed a bunch of stuff, I suppose.
It was pre-production. Mostly, it was a big project. It was like a 50, 60K project.
Damn.
And then you go into a lot of pre-production work. And it's not like 2 months of working, right? But it's like over the period of 2 months where you're just planning and mapping everything.
But what pre-production are we talking about? Like you building a set or something like that? Or what are you...
No, so basically whenever you have a project, you go through the same process. You first have a kind of creative session, right? Where you come up with the ideas. You come up with like all the creative inputs from the client, from your team, and then what you build is a script, right? You write a script, you write the entire idea into a thing that you can visually show in a video. Then you create a shot list, you create a storyboard so that the client can already see what the video is going to look like. You go location scouting, right? You go actor scouting. You do all these kind of things that are required so that when you shoot, you only need like 1 day of shooting or like 2 days of shooting instead of having a full week because you just weren't prepared properly. So preparation is everything.
Of like shot 1, shot 2, shot 3, and then you probably like you split it up from locations. Like what shots can we get in location 1, 2? Okay, damn.
That's for the big projects, right?
Yeah.
But then like nowadays, most of our students, they're just doing social media work. So an example there, they have a retainer with like a real estate agent for like 3, 4, 5K a month, right? And then they produce a certain amount of reels for this agent, and that's pretty much their work. So that doesn't require that much pre-production. There it's just like, oh, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this.
They go to the real estate guy, set up the shot, have him shoot 10 reels, and then they edit it, kind of like that.
Yeah, it could be talking head videos, right? But it could also be like neighborhood spotlights. It could be whatever they can come up with. It could be fun reels like the ones with the transitions that we do, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. As long as it gets some engagement, basically. It's building personal brands of their clients, kind of thing.
Sick. And you also teach them quite a lot of sales, because I've heard, I mean, you've been with us here in Cyprus for the last couple of days, and I've heard you coach some sales, some quite high level sales even. It's not just some shitty, just go buy and sell the thing for a high price. Like you actually teach like objection handling, pre-objection handling, and all that jazz.
Yeah, and
nice.
The thing is, videographers don't like sales, right? Nobody wants to be a sales guy. Yeah. As you said, like they're creative, so sales is probably the worst thing that they can think of. It's like, if I have to do sales, I rather don't make any money, because they don't want to be sales guys. They don't want to, because when they think sales, they think like sneaky snake oil salesman, right? Wolf of Wall Street kind of thing. But what they don't realize is that when you do proper sales, you sell like a doctor, which is what we teach. When you sell like a doctor, you're asking questions, you're diagnosing your patient basically, and you find something that they need that helps them. We always teach them, like, it's your moral obligation to help, and that's why we do sales. It's not to sell something to somebody that they don't need. It's not, oh, we can sell ice to an Eskimo. It's like, we sell something that somebody else needs because it helps them grow their business or build their brand or solve another problem that they have. And once you look at it from that perspective, that's when our students start to realize, oh, wait a second, sales is not that Wolf of Wall Street thing. Sales is actually helping.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we teach.
It's this typical, this typical reputation of sales. Whatever, Hollywood made it into that. Like, they're all doing coke and they're all just like, fuck this guy after they close someone. You know, it's such a dumb thing to do. It's exactly the same for our clients too. It's like everybody wants to be a coach, everybody wants to help people, but then, oh, the sales, oh no. Like, unless someone sits there and already says, I want to buy from you, I'm not going to sell him, like this kind of stuff. When in reality, it's just, it's like a decision-making process, basically. But anyway, so yesterday we were grabbing dinner down at the beach, and you told me your origin story, which I found was really, 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 really awesome. And I'm kind of sad that I heard it yesterday already for the first time, so that people don't get my reaction here on the podcast now. But do tell it again, please, because I think it's really inspiring for a lot of folks listening.
I could tell it in more detail.
Yeah, let's go. Hell yeah. I mean, we got a lot of time, so yeah, okay, let's go. Let's hear it.
So I started making videos when I was a kid. Literally, like, I got my dad's camcorder. Well, I don't know if you can call it making videos. I made some Star Wars remake, and then I always wanted to do these lightsaber, like, VFX things. Never got around to it. I just filmed everything, but never got around the VFX part. I learned animation when I was probably, like, I don't know, 14 years old. I learned to I don't even know what the program was called. I think Cinema 4D. That's where I learned some animation stuff, because I was really interested in just visualizing ideas, right? And about 15 years ago, I got into parkour and freerunning, which basically...
So you were what age?
What age was I? Like 13? 12, 13? Okay. And to me, I got into it because I actually saw a stunt show in Bavaria Studios in Germany. And I went there with my parents. And when I saw that show, there's one image that I still have on my mind. There was like a robber going into a house, right? And then police chase, everything. And then the robber jumped out of the house to, I don't even know what it's called, like the thing that catches the rain. So the drainage,
like drainage
yeah, exactly.
On the roof.
Exactly. So he catches onto that and it falls over and then it stops in the middle. And I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, like,
that is so cool.
Nick is like,
yeah, like, go thieves. So yeah, that was so cool. So I told my parents, like, Mom, Dad, I want to become a stuntman, right? Once I'm 18, I'll freaking move to LA and I'm gonna work on movies, and that's just what I'm gonna do. And the cool thing about my parents is they were supportive in everything I did. Literally, like I played soccer, I played tennis, I did snowboarding in like the Swiss national whatever, and like,
was that freestyle or alpine?
Freestyle, yeah.
No shit.
And all these things.
Well, hold on a second. What was your best trick,
dude? That's actually funny. So I was in this national whatever team, right?
But freestyle, man.
And my best trick was probably like a 360.
Oh yeah, okay, that's funny.
So it's funny because I was in parkour. I was literally one of the best in Switzerland. Like I won competitions and stuff. But in snowboard, it never translated to snowboarding for some reason. I was way more scared than snowboarding.
Wow.
But whatever, my parents were supporting me, and I was super serious about it. When I put my mind to something, I will do it, and I will do it properly, right? So I trained literally 7 days a week, 3-4 hours a day, and with my best friend, we did like all the crazy things that we could find on YouTube, and we would just replicate it basically. Always with that dream in mind, like I'm going to become a stuntman. And there, when we did all that training, we also filmed everything. That's kind of like standard in parkour and freerunning. You just film it and you upload it to YouTube.
Yeah.
And over time, when we felt like it's too boring to just make training videos, we started making short films where we combined parkour and freerunning with an actual story. So that's when I got into storytelling and being more creative with the camera as well. And then in 2014, I had a tumor in my back. And that tumor was kind of like the, fuck you, man, you're not going to become a stuntman kind of thing. And I mean, I felt like I have two choices. I can either just cry about it, or I can keep making videos, which is also fun. And then I decided to do that because I had
the tumor, they removed it surgically? Or
yeah, so I had surgery. I have like a huge scar on my back.
No shit.
Yeah.
The tumor was on your spine, or how exactly?
On the spine and nerve channel, kind of. And it was already there for 2 years. They didn't find it for 2 years. It was that big. And the reason why they didn't find it was because I had severe leg pain, right? So it pressed on the nerves, and that shot the pain into my leg. So they literally analyzed and diagnosed my leg for 2 years. They sent me to all kinds of therapy, like osteopathy, like physiotherapy, like all these kind of things. At one point, that was so crazy that the osteopath, so that guy told me, you can't eat any food that is how do you say, like inflammable?
Inflammatory.
And I was like, okay, so what does that
like
mean?
Everything.
And then basically it ended up being that I can just eat bananas. I literally took it seriously because I wanted to get rid of that pain, right?
Yeah.
So I was literally eating 12 to 14 bananas a day and nothing else for like weeks, right? And then we were like, okay, maybe that's not the solution.
Did it at least help? Or pain just continued?
No, of course not, because it had nothing to do with that, right? So one day I go to the physiotherapist, and this guy is like, hey, did anybody ever check your back? And I was like, no, why? I have a little pain in my leg. And he's like, yeah, but that could come from the back. And I was like, okay. Wow. And then we kind of did an MRI, right? And they found this freaking ass tumor in my back. And my dad is a surgeon, so he got the MRI pretty fast, right? And he looked at it, and he was like, you got a tumor. And at that time, I didn't even know what a tumor was.
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't scared or anything. I was like, okay, so what are we doing? And then obviously I had to go through surgery, and it was pretty cool because my dad is a surgeon. I got like an appointment in a week or so.
Did he do the surgery?
He did not do it. No, he would never. Like,
how come?
First of all, he's a surgeon for everything that is in the stomach.
Oh, okay.
Right. And second of all, he wouldn't do like a severe surgery on his own child.
Yeah, too many emotions involved.
Yeah. So
was that? I mean, that sounds really. I mean, sorry to keep you hung up on that part, but that sounds like a really serious thing. How was there a risk to it? Did they inform you about the risk, or was it more like a routine operation thingy? Or
I mean, here's the thing: this tumor is pretty normal that you get such a thing if you're 70 years old. So to get it at that age is basically unheard of, right? And there is a risk that you basically get paralyzed because if they fuck up a nerve, you're done, kind of thing.
wow.
But obviously, like, Switzerland has amazing surgeons. Like, they were super sure they can get it done, and they did get it done, like, amazingly perfect. I felt like shit after because they literally ripped apart the back, right? So they cut it in the middle. They rip apart the muscles to get to the nerves.
Shit.
And dude, that was the most intense pain I've ever felt in my entire life. Because once that thing is healing, right, it kind of feels like when you have sore muscles after running.
Yeah.
But times 100. It feels like an elephant stomps on your back kind of thing.
You probably couldn't lie on your back either, right?
I did lie on my back, but it was just like I couldn't move at all. So I was laying in bed for like 4 days straight. And then I started to get up and go through all the physiotherapy and all that jazz. Anyways, I decided to keep making videos, right? And that was when I did more of the short film stuff. And I was super inspired by this guy called Devin Supertramp, who had a YouTube channel back in the day. He still has it, but he's like his engagement dropped all down. But back then he was super popular. He did these like Assassin's Creed parkour videos and these epic like rooftop jumping, whatever.
Into like hay wagons and stuff.
Yeah. Everything. It was super cool. So he inspired me a lot. And I tried to replicate what he was doing, kind of. And then one day, the dad of a friend of mine reached out and was like, "Hey, Nick, I saw all these videos and I'm the chief of a firefighter department. Can you make a recruiting video for us? Because we really need new people." Because it's like a free will based firefighter department. Nobody gets paid.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Sure, let's do it." And he said, "Cool, we want to pay you. Like, how much does this cost?" Classic question, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll create an offer, you know? Yeah. So I had no idea. I didn't even know that I would be paid.
Yeah, that was the funniest part. Yeah. Like, you were like, "Cool, I'll do it. I'm excited." And
of course.
And they were like, "How much do you want for that?"
Of course, and that's what most videographers do, right? They're excited about doing work, doing videos. So I ran to my uncle because he had a web design agency, and I asked him, like, "Dude, what can I charge for this? I have no idea." And he said, "Yeah, you know, for this kind of video, probably like $4,000, right?" And I was going crazy. Like, are you out of your mind? 4,000. I'm still in school. I'm a kid. I've never made any money, and you want me to charge $4,000 for one video? Are you crazy? Yeah. And he said, "You know what? You came to me to ask for advice. Just trust me." And I was like, "Okay." So I go to this client, and everything was in person, right? So we did an in-person meeting before that. Go to the client, and I tell them, like, all shaking and stuff, like, it's going to be 4,000. And I was like, they're going to say no and go to hell, kind of. Yeah. And they said, "Okay, yeah, we can do that." And I was like, "What?" Okay. And in this meeting, like, I had to hold myself back from being too excited.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was
all cool. Like, "Oh, yeah, cool."
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, yeah, we can do it." I was expecting that.
Yeah.
So they accept that. And I, for myself, thought, okay, they're paying me $4,000 for this. I will need to give it my all. Like, I'll put my life into this, right? It doesn't matter how much work it's going to take me. And in total, it took me like 2 weeks of work for $4,000.
Sick.
But I put all the effort that I could into it. And I don't know, of course it was hard work, but then obviously it was also a bit of luck. Because they uploaded the video to YouTube and it got picked up by news stations, by newspapers. And then what happened was it got over 700,000 views on YouTube.
Which is insane for Switzerland, you know?
Yeah.
Think about it, like a local fire department.
Yeah, and it's like a local fire department in like a shitty-ass place, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, you know how the Austrian Alps are with like villages.
Yeah,
that's kind of like where the fire department was. So we make this video, got lucky with the impact that it had. They had over 25 new applicants.
Wow.
And I was like, holy shit, I literally just did what I loved, got paid for it, and solved somebody else's problem. This is phenomenal. I want to keep doing that. And so I partnered up with a friend of mine who was also doing videos at the time. And I was like, let's start a company together. Let's do this. Let's start a video agency. Because actually another thing that happened, I totally forgot. Before that was Sony announced a new camera, like a big documentary camera.
That's a good part too.
Yeah, so they announced the FS7 in 2015, 2014. And with that, they launched a short film competition. And they said, whoever wins this short film competition, like you have to do a 1-2 minute video about the topic inspiration. Whoever wins that gets the FS7 camera for free. And to me, that was like, dude, that's a freaking like $8,000 camera. That would be crazy. That would be life-changing, right? And so I thought to myself, obviously, I'm not going to win. That's how confident I was. But let me just try. You know, in worst case, I have a cool portfolio piece. So I make this video. Same thing there, got over 20,000 views on YouTube. I mean, it's not 700, but it was still cool for me.
What was the video about that you submitted?
It was about a friend of mine who did parkour.
Oh, no shit.
So he inspired me a lot, and I therefore asked him like if I can share his story, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I made this video, and Sony announced the winner of this competition during a live webinar, and I think they had like 1,500, 2,000 participants that sent their videos in. So I thought to myself, how cool would it be if they showed my work in front of all these people in a live webinar, right? Shared by Sony. That's kind of like videographers get hung up on this. Like if a brand shares what they're doing, they're like,
yeah.
So yeah, I thought, how cool would that be? And I watched this live webinar, and they showed a couple of the videos. They showed like rank 1,000, and they showed rank 700, and 600, and 500. And then they obviously went through the top 10, right?
Yeah.
So they went 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Nick Metzger. And I was like, wait a second, what? I got second place out of like 2,000 people? That's insane. And then it caught me. I was like, oh, wait a second. First place gets the camera, second place gets nothing.
Yeah.
Not even like a lens cleaning kit, like zero, nothing. And I was like, okay, super bummed out about it, even though it was cool, a cool achievement. Couple days later, though, I get a phone call from a UK number, and that was weird for me because, I mean, I didn't even dare to pick up phones, which we get into later because I sucked at sales. Because I didn't have the courage to call anybody.
I mean, that's how it goes. Like when someone calls, you're like, "What the?" I was like, "What's happening?" And
what's
heart starts racing.
Yeah, and it's like, well, a UK number. Like,
yeah.
Hello. Especially as a kid in Switzerland.
So how old were you at that point? 18, 17?
17, 18.
Okay.
I pick it up, luckily, because they go like, hey, Nick, we have good news. And I was like, yeah, what is it? And they said, yeah, it's in Europe. And here's the thing. For this competition, the rule was that you have to create a video specifically for this competition. And the guy that won sent in a 5-year-old video, which means he's disqualified, which means you're the runner-up, so you won. Congratulations. And I was like, what the hell? All right, I'll take it. So they sent me the camera. A couple days later, they call me again. They're like, hey, as an apology for all this confusion thing, we also want you to receive our new $3,000 lens with it. I was like, I'm not going to say no. Like, I'll take it.
Man.
So in total, I got like a $10,000 camera package. Back then, nowadays, this camera is like $2,000. But
really?
back
It
then,
so fast.
yeah, it does go fast. But back then, it was like $10,000 worth of gear for an 18-year-old kid, and I was like stunned.
Sony FS7 was
Sony FS7, yeah.
doing that stuff.
It's a documentary camera, and it was life-changing for me. That was when I had this motivation, because it was like, okay, I'm good at making videos. I won this competition, and it wasn't like you have to get votes or something. It was a jury of filmmakers who voted me as the winner. I was like, wow, okay, crazy. So then the whole firefighter thing happened, right?
Yeah.
I decided to start a company because I thought I'm the shit. I thought, okay, I just won this competition. I got this firefighter client to pay me $4,000. I'm rich now, and I'm gonna start my video company. And I expected that clients would just run in my door, right, and would give me projects, and I would be the most successful filmmaker ever. And then nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. I was sitting in my parents' home still. I was still living at home, right?
Yeah.
Waiting for clients to call, and obviously nobody called.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it is.
You had the logo maybe, and you had the fancy stuff, the business cards, and then nobody came.
Everything was ready, and I realized, okay, I can't keep going like that. I was obviously making like 1,000, 2,000 here and there from friends and family projects, and then I get a referral, and then word of mouth happens, Yeah. But like 1,000, 2,000, maybe $3,000 a month, and I was like, okay, well, if I want to build a company, probably needs make a bit more than 3K a month. And I started looking into coachings and courses for sales and marketing, because I realized, okay, if I want to get clients, that's where I need to dig into. Like, I need to understand how to market myself. I need to understand how to sell. I buy courses, coachings and books around social media marketing agencies, because back then there was no such thing as a video business coach. That literally didn't exist. So I found these social media marketing agency courses, and I was like, it's kind of similar because it's an agency. You're selling a service to a client, so maybe I can use it and just adapt it to my video business.
Yeah.
And literally that's what I did. Like, I just religiously applied everything that I learned, and that's when things started to change around. Like, I grew the agency from 3K a month to first like 10K. That was a big milestone. I thought, okay, I'm on top of the world. Then we hit 20K, then we hit 40K, then we hit 80, then we hit 100, and the best month we ever did was 113K. And to me, it was crazy. Like, it was a crazy freaking journey. And over the time, the biggest project we ever did, by the way, was like a 75K project.
Damn.
And to me, it was crazy to think that somebody would pay like a 22, 23-year-old kid like $75,000 for a video. But I knew, okay, I'm onto something. And more videographers started to pick up on my story, and were like, hey, how are you getting these clients? Like, how are you growing this business? How are you able to make all that money? Because they obviously didn't know how much money I made, but they saw I'm buying a red camera, right? I'm buying all that gear. I have over, like, I think at one point I had over 100K worth of gear. And they're like, holy shit, like, how? Like, are you in debt or what? So I started to help them. Because they asked me questions. I was like, yeah, I did this way, and here I did that this way, and I'm getting clients this way, and explained everything. And I started to see them getting results. And I was like, that's cool. Like, that's epic. And it made me feel good. It's kind of like that feel-good kind of thing, that I got from it, probably like a little dopamine hit. So I was like, okay, I want to keep doing that. What I also realized was that only the people who were asking really good questions and actually implementing it were getting results, and everybody else was just like, oh, how can I make money? Is like not getting any results from it. So I was like, okay, weird. Didn't think much about it until I heard a quote from Tony Robbins. I think it was Tony Robbins, who said, like, if somebody doesn't pay for advice, they're likely not going to implement it because it doesn't hurt them. Yeah. And I was like, maybe I should charge for this. And then I thought to myself, okay, like, I bought coachings before. Why can't somebody buy a coaching from me? And I started to dive into all these like personal brands who are selling coachings and courses. And by the way, you were one of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I haven't told you that. I haven't told you that. Yeah, about like, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, where I saw your stuff already and was like, oh, damn, shit, man, that's crazy.
That is fucking dope. I did not know that, man.
Yeah. So I started to build a coaching program, basically, and then I got the offer from a film production company in Switzerland that they want to expand to my city, and they offered me to buy my company, and I was like, okay, maybe that's a good step forward, because I wanted to focus on one thing, because I don't know, man, I was probably like watching too much Sam Ovens content, to be honest. He's like, laser focus. And I was like, okay, I need to do one thing. So, but it came at the right time. I sold my video production company and then focused on the consulting business, coaching business, and that's where we are now. Like, we have helped over 450 videographers worldwide. They're crushing it, making money, living a better life, buying all the gear they want, and it's epic to see. It's really, really fun.
Dude, it's such a beautiful story that so many coaches have in common. the kind of like the little milestones you've gone through. You developed a passion for something. You became better at that. People started giving you money for that. The mind fuck that does to you. You're like, don't they know I would do this for free? Why can't they pay me, you know? And then all the way to you getting really good at that, and then you helping others with that one thing that changed your life for the better. That's just this beautiful story behind coaching. That's also kind of one of the reasons why I'm still in the coaching industry, because, you know, people shit talking like, oh, there's so many coaches out there nowadays, yada, yada, yada. But ultimately, like, when you're becoming a coach for something, you basically, it's like a love letter to the thing that got you to where you are right now. For you, it was videography.
Yeah.
For me, it was in the beginning dating advice, personal development advice. Then it was business. And I think it's like one of the, or if not even the best business model out there, because you're part of an upward spiral. You're getting paid to make other people better. So now, you know, just like in that video that you made, it's like you inspire them, they inspire you back, they inspire other people, and everything is just this upward spiral of success. And as utopian as it sounds, like you're making the world a little bit better of a place.
Yeah, man. 100%.
And you know what's really funny? Like I did not tell you that either. But I also started with making videos way back in the days.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. My dad also had a freaking Sony Handycam. Like one with like a touch screen. You could fold the screen out and you can press play and fast forward on the thing. It was like the craziest thing. So of course my dad bought it because he was always like a kind of like a gimmick guy. He always had the new technology thing and then he never used it. So of course I grabbed the camera, and it was also parkour that was really interesting for me. But not the professional cool parkour, but like the jackass, dumb, you know, like jump out the window. Yeah.
It's like Steve-O.
Yeah, like that.
Of a 3-story building.
Exactly. So my friend and I, must have been April 2001 or something like that, or 2002. I was 11, 12 years old. My friend, my neighbor, he came over and there was still some snow. And we would just jump from my dad's balcony into the snow.
We did the same thing.
Yeah. 100%. So of course we're filming it, and it's so cool. And then my dad had like these old mattresses from the attic. We put them on the parking lot, so we jumped from the second floor onto the mattress, filmed it all, and just funny and like, what dumb shit can we do that we can film each other with? And then of course my dad had a MacBook. Like my dad was one of the early Mac adopters. I mean, that was 2002. That was. He had the first iPod. Do you remember like the iPod, not the iPhone, like the iPod?
Yeah.
He had the
people nowadays don't even know what an iPod is.
Exactly. And then my dad was like, you know that they're going to make a phone? It's like an iPod, but you can call people. And I was like, nobody's going to need that. An iPhone? What a stupid thing, you know? So my dad was like the first guy. And he also had a MacBook. And on that MacBook, it came with iMovie. The native video editing software where you could drag stuff into a little timeline, you know? So, of course, we're like exporting the videos from the camera on the iMovie. And then I was a huge The Offspring fan. The Offspring, great band. I still am. I still go see the concerts. So I put like my favorite Offspring songs in the videos of us jumping off the thingies. Nice. And that's how this whole thing started. And then later on, when I started doing dating, I saw all the YouTube videos from RSD, and I'm like, I could make way better, cooler videos. So I took my funny stuff that we would shoot, going out, talking to girls and stuff like that, and then going to cities and having like a cool lifestyle where we would do like comfort zone challenges on the street and stuff like that. And I would mix that in with like me doing speeches for free and like little seminars, cut cool music in. And that made RSD like, hey, there's this Austrian dude. He does all these internships for us, and he makes these videos that make him look way cooler than our own coaches. And that's how they then invited me. So that was kind of like, for me, was a contributor also. And this is funny because I talk a lot about primary skills, secondary skills, and I would love to hear your thought on that as well. But what I've noticed within my business, every person has primary, secondary, and tertiary skill sets. My primary and secondary skills are actually video and content. That is my primary skill. Like, I love doing that. Mm-hmm. I do, like, in an ideal scenario, I only do that. Like, the entire company runs itself, and I just create content all day long. I do podcasts, I do reels, I have fun, I shoot YouTube videos. Like, that's what I love, nothing more. It's so funny, like, When I wake up and I look at the money we made overnight, I don't care. When I look at the views that a video got overnight, I'm like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, that excites me more. And then my secondary skill is talking to people, inspiring people, going on rants. And then only after that come all the other skill sets of like running a company, sales, yada, yada, yada. And so that's why, like, for me, like, video is like the one thing I want to do all the time. What is it for you? What's your primary, secondary, tertiary skill set?
It's a good question, man. One thing I realized, and it's funny because I told you before, I was afraid of taking phone calls at the beginning.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I would say my primary skill is sales.
Wow.
Honestly. And the thing is this, I was so scared of taking phone calls, I didn't even dare to make my own restaurant reservations. I didn't even dare to call my barber, who I knew for years. I had my mom call him to make an appointment for me. I don't know why she did, but
shout out
Mom.
to the mom. Yeah.
Shout out to Mom. And over the years, to come get a haircut, I was like, I don't have time to call. So over the years that I got better at sales, I started to really enjoy it. And nowadays, it's like, if I'm on a sales call, like, I don't feel salesy at all. Like, I just have a conversation and it's cool and I like it. So I would say sales is my primary skill, to be fair. Combined, probably like second place, or sometimes they switch, making videos, obviously, right? It's where I come from. Tertiary skills, I don't know, maybe management and just dealing with people, like handling the team and motivating the team and making sure like everybody is on the right track, everybody's rowing in the same boat in the same direction, just leading them. Well, I would say that's the third one for sure.
Nice, man. The thing with sales is also really funny. It's like, it's literally just having a cool conversation. Just like you said, it's like a doctor position. You're here to help someone out. And the funny thing is, you said they switch sometimes, primary and secondary skills.
Yeah.
How come?
I mean, look, when I make videos, I think I see things that others don't see. I don't know. It's weird to explain. And I think everybody probably has that in some sort of way, where they have their own vision. They have their own ideas that they can already visualize. For me, it's like I have this crazy, I don't know if you want to call it third eye, where if I see it in my brain, I know exactly how I want to do it. I know exactly how I will do it. I know exactly what it's going to look like. I know exactly what the rhythm of the music and the sound effects need to be in order for it to hit. Damn. It's like I know when a joke hits in advance before I even produce what I'm doing, and I know when it's probably not going to hit. So I think that's the skill. It's not the skill of making the video, but seeing it before it actually gets created.
That's crazy, actually. So you see the shot kind of in your mind's eye. You see, like, I'm going to go from that angle, move from left to right. The sun is going to be there. Yeah. So you see it in your brain first.
That's also why I think most of my videos that I make, and I mean, obviously nowadays I make pretty much all my content literally with my phone.
Yeah.
And almost everything that you see from me online is the first take. Wow. Almost everything. Literally.
So is that normal amongst videographers, or do you say most of your clients, they just... Because when I think of doing videos, I'm more like, let's mess around with a couple shots until I feel it's right. So for me, it's more like a testing, and then, that one looks good, that one feels good. But for you, it's kind of like you know it beforehand.
Yeah, that's my point.
So what's because you work with a lot of videographers, how many of those have it like you do, and how many of them just try it?
It's a good question, and I can't really give you a clear answer on it because I don't really see what they're doing with their clients and when they're shooting and stuff, because we don't teach the creative side of things, right? We only the business side of things. Interesting. Because that's what they need. They already know how to make great videos.
Yeah.
It's like I don't need to help them with that. I need to help them with actually being paid what they're worth, because at the end of the day, there's sick-ass videographers out there, amazing talents, and they're getting paid dog shit, zero.
Yeah.
Right?
There's so many success barriers that specifically creative people have. It's so strange. It's like almost like because like I don't consider myself gifted with creativity at all. I love music. I'm a musician. But like when I see stuff that like some of my friends can come up with, I'm like, bro, unreal. So I'm very clunky with that. I was just always someone that outworked everything. Like, I outworked all my lack of talent, and I just made much more success happen, at least by traditional definitions. Like, I make more money and da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. But there's, like you said, like, there's guys out there that are so talented in that. And one of my very first videographers that traveled with me on my first world tour, Dimi, he came off the back of a tour with 30 Seconds to Mars. So, and his story is very similar. He was just some random video dude, you know, who liked making videos. And then 30 Seconds to Mars, the famous band with Jared Leto and stuff like that, they were looking for videographers. And he was just like, well, fuck it, let's apply, you know. So he made a random video, sent it, and they're like, yo, yeah, we want you to go on world tour with 30 Seconds to Mars. You're going to fly around the world, business class, stay in the best hotels, and you're going to film on stage. So they, 30 Seconds to Mars, were making a music video to an upcoming song, and they needed, like, shots from tour. Mm-hmm. And he literally toured with them for, like, I can't remember, a couple months or half a year or something epic, like that. Man. Yeah, and there's video, they're like the music video that is on YouTube, like the official music videos made by him.
That's epic.
Absolutely insane. So, and he told me, like, about touring with them, and it was so cool. So Jared came in and he said, okay, guys, like, you're the video guys. There's going to be a lot of crazy stuff happening for you. This is, you know, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people. I don't want you to get distracted by that. I don't want you to get intimidated by that. If you want to get a shot, just fucking get it. If you need to stand on stage filming my face from 10 centimeters away in the middle of a show, I don't want you to care. Just get the fucking shot. So that's what they did. And there's, like, footage where, you know, he's, like, singing, and, like, and Dimi is, like, right there, like, close-up shot, and behind him is just, like, 200,000 people.
He's taking it seriously.
That are mad at they're like mad at him because he's covering the face of the guy, you know. So he gets off this tour, and it was very similar with what you said. It's like he landed this one gig, he thought he's the shit. He comes back to his little village. He thinks he's a rock star. He spends all his money on dinners. I'm saying this because he talks about this openly. I'm not, like, giving secrets away or something like that. He spends all the money on dinners, and then, of course, nothing happens after that. You know, it's not like people all of a sudden just come to you and want you to work for them. So he then applies for RSD, and there's a whole funny other story in there how they talk him into touring with me because he wanted to quit after 3 days. He's like, this sucks. Like, from 30 Seconds to Mars, like, high quality production, like, crazy structure to RSD. RSD was the dating company I worked with back in the days, for people who don't know, and that was all just very freestyle. It was like a frat boy culture. Like, everybody was best friends with everybody and was all just kind of ad hoc, kind of improvised. And then he wanted to quit after like 3 days. And then they talked him into going on tour with me. Because they're like, oh, you're a German guy. Well, Max is also German. I'm not. I'm Austrian. But for Americans, it's the same. You know? Yeah. He's also German. You guys are probably going to be best friends. You guys should go on tour together. So we go on tour together. And what I also noticed there, like, his shot. I've worked with many videographers in my life. And I've never seen someone get the perfect shot that quickly. He would just get the camera out and just, like, no matter where we were, he would frame it so perfectly. The shots were cinematic as fuck. I'm just some dating guy on YouTube. Yeah. But my videos would look like Christopher Nolan movies.
Nice.
Very, very talented guy. But then also there, like, zero business sense. And he, you know, I would get up and I would have, like I said, zero talent for anything, but I just had the work ethic. I would get up and I would get to work. I'm like, yo, let's go shoot this. Let's go shoot that. And he would just be like, all right, first of all, I'm going to have a cigarette. Second of all, I'm going to have my coffee. Third of all, I'm going to go watch 2 hours of random YouTube videos. So he would just dick around half the day. And if he would have my work ethic, he would be making so much money. If he would have the business stuff, the business knowledge that you teach, he makes so much money. It's that talent, but he doesn't. And for every Dimi out there, I mean, he's crushing it in his life right now because he does the things that make him happy, right? He's a musician. He does videography on the side. He has a kid. I'm still friends with him. He's living a family life. It's really beautiful. But then from my perspective, I'm like, you could make so much money if you had a guy like Nick who would teach you how to do that.
But he probably doesn't care.
That's exactly it.
And that's what it is with videographers.
Yeah.
They care so little that they would rather be making 2-3K a month and just have all the gear they want.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then they make cool shit. Compared to living a life where they make money, like a lot of money, and make cool videos.
Yeah.
Because they realize it takes work to make money.
But here's the thing. I used to also not care. I used to be like, I just want to make cool video. But then I realized what making money looks like in terms of like how cool the work it is. Just like you said, like sales. Like I also never liked sales until I did it. I'm like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then I also realized what money does. Because like, okay, I want to have the gear, yada, yada. And then like, hold on a second, but when I make the money, I could just get the gear.
Bingo.
So for me, I didn't care at first, and then I realized what it does, and then I cared. Do you think that's the case for them, or do they learn that and then they still don't care?
No, they do care once they learn what the money does for them.
Okay.
Because like all the problems that they have in their life, like struggling financially and struggling with bills and struggling with this and that, like it literally 95% of it can be solved with money.
Yeah.
Just throw money at it and it's solved. You never have that problem again. So we teach that part as well in the program, right? We kind of like realign their mindset and their kind of perspective with money, which is technically weird because it's a video business coaching program and you wouldn't expect to get like money mindset.
Yeah.
But it's required for them to understand that same thing with sales. Like money is nothing evil. Money is nothing that will hurt you. It is a tool that you can then use to buy all the gear you want, to never struggle financially again, to even get a cool team that you can pay, right? And then do even cooler shit together because you have more resources and all that stuff. And once they learn that, they naturally increase their skills in making videos as well.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, now I can afford this. Now I can afford to travel there. Oh, that would be cool for this and this shot. And the whole narrative changes.
So when you said like you're also doing mindset stuff, and I remember yesterday when we had dinner, you told me that you guys have like, you do everything one-on-one in your coaching, but you also have live group calls. And you got like, 8 or something per week?
Now we have 10. In our base program, we have 10 a week.
What's the topics of these calls? That's what would be interesting.
Yeah, so we do have mindset calls. You do our mindset coach, yeah.
Nice.
Then we do have...
That is so cool that you have that.
Yeah,
it's like,
so
we
funny.
have the same.
So funny.
It's like we found all these, so yesterday we found all these parallels.
So many
what
things.
we do, and none of, we didn't know, and it's like,
so many things are similar. It's crazy.
Oh, so you have, you got an extra mindset coach.
Mindset coach does mindset calls.
Yeah.
Right? Then we have what we call business mastery calls, which are basically like business in general. You can ask us anything regarding questions to clients, maybe contracts that you're unsure of, like all that stuff. And then we do have sales training calls, where it's like sales role play. So yeah, it's 3 kinds of topics and spread over 10 calls a week.
How do you teach your clients to get their clients?
Is it multiple ways?
Organic
multiple ways. We always teach them we always tell them look, you're gonna go through like a 2-step phase where first you're gonna do organic lead gen, right? You're gonna invest your time to get clients. Basically, you do outreach, and we teach them multiple different strategies that we used with our own agency. And then once they make more money, we teach them how to run ads. So basically, once they have invested their time, they learn how to invest their money. And then they do both at the same time. And that's kind of like the holy grail. And then we teach them how to get retainers. So and they always think, that's a funny thing, they always think, well, I can just close retainer clients instead of one-off projects. But what they don't realize is that a client needs to trust you a whole lot to sign like a 6-month agreement to work with you every single month. And what's actually way easier, and if you're a videographer watching this, this is the gold nugget.
Listen up.
What's actually way easier is just call up every single client that you ever had for a one-off project and you upsell them into a retainer because they're already trusting you.
Yeah.
It's way easier to get that transaction going. And that's where the real money lies. So when they pay you every single month, right? You have 6, 12-month agreements. You make 10, 12, 15K a month just from retainers, and then everything else is profit on top.
Sick. I mean, that makes sense. And if you just learned that as a new thing, drop a comment down below on the YouTube if you watch this on YouTube. So you mentioned money making, out of curiosity, what do you spend your money on?
myself personally.
Yeah, what have you done with... I mean, you made quite a lot, you know, and I see the nice Rolly. By the way, if I can have a look, that's the exact one that I wanted to buy, and I'm still waiting for the freaking waiting list.
Really?
It's not the exact one, but it's the Daytona. I would not get it with the... I would not get it with this.
The Oyster Flex?
Yeah. I don't like the gummy thingies.
Dude,
I'm always like, why is the gummy...
Put it on how comfortable it is, man.
I know it's comfortable for sure, but I would want to have like a gold or whatever. Oh, it's actually rosé gold.
It is, yeah. I do have a couple with the oyster, normal oyster band that you have.
What do you mean you got a couple? How many rollers you got?
4.
Okay.
And
Sick.
the thing is, I don't really like it. It's uncomfortable to me. This one is so much more comfortable, honestly.
It looks sick on my hand.
It does look sick, yeah.
It does look
sick.
The tattoo thing is...
It's so much more comfortable, no?
No, it's just as comfortable. Try this one on, man. Your wrist is a little bit thicker than mine. So you can see like it's all loose over my wrist. But like it looks so uncomfortable, but Rolexes are super comfortable even when they're like clunky, heavy wristbands.
I got the same ones. Like these bands, and it's like, I don't know.
You don't like...
The other 3 literally just sit in my freaking box where they rotate.
Oh, the self-winding. Those are the best ones. Well, which other ones you got?
I got a Submariner. I got a Sagecast, like a Wimbledon.
Nice.
And then I got the Batman GMT Master 2.
Ooh. So the Submariner, is that just the regular color?
The black
dial,
and then yellow gold, white gold bracelet, like the Flexor watch.
That one doesn't our client Alexis have the same? He has blue dial with gold.
Yeah, it's a bluesy. Yeah, it's basically the same but in black.
Sick.
But I don't like to wear it. It's like,
why not?
Because it's so flexy. It's like you look at it, you look like a pimp. You fucking look like a pimp,
let him sing. Let him sing.
That's why this one is so decent.
For you, it fits so well.
It's so much better
because it looks kind of sporty, and you're like a sporty dude, you know. But it's expensive sporty, not shitty sport, you know. So
like Fitbit sport.
Yeah. Shout out to Fit.
Even though I wear Fitbits all the time too.
Okay, so you bought a bunch of Rollies. And also, that's funny, like, you're known as the guy who owns a red camera.
Yeah.
How much is a red camera?
The one I have back in the day was like 15K, but that's like the body.
Yeah.
And then you need accessories like batteries. And I mean, let's talk accessories really quick, okay?
Okay. I just want to get to the point.
25K.
Quick. So you're the guy who's known to own a $25,000 camera that you haven't used in 3 years, and you just use it as a background for your videos, right?
My Zoom calls.
You just have it. It's like, this thing is a cool piece of furniture. Let me put it in the background of my Zoom calls. All right, so I just wanted to put that up.
I haven't started it up in literally 2 years.
Don't they need to be turned on to not die? Like,
probably
it's like a violin. You should play it every now and then.
Probably, I don't know.
All right.
So accessories on the Red, right? Literally, it has a handle on top.
It's called just Red Dragon, or what is it? What do I type
This
in?
one's called Red Scarlet W.
Okay.
So it has a handle on top, right? I know that handle does 2 things. Number 1, you can hold it.
Yeah.
And number 2, you can press record.
Ah, all right.
That handle alone cost me 2K. An SSD card to record on, 1.5K.
Get out of here.
Dude, the screen, 2.7K.
Jesus Christ.
Like the camera could
really
come with the screen.
This like little box.
It's
the actual
just like
camera.
this
You need
box.
to buy everything.
You need to buy everything. And everything is so expensive. Like literally so expensive.
Jeez.
So I spent like...
what is helium 8K? It has helium in it?
It flies.
Yeah, it was like lighter, or how does it...
No, but it has 8K resolution. It's a sick-ass camera.
Epic X Dragon. Yeah.
And then they're like
Touch
the
LCD,
Raptor and everything.
Touch LCD, 1,700 euros.
Yeah. Oh, they got cheaper.
Yeah, zoom 15 to 50 millimeter, 1,600.
You don't really buy one. Like you always customize it.
Yeah, Red Mini Mag. So Mini Mag is the SD cards, or what is that?
The Mini Mag is the SSD. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 480 gigabytes.
Yeah. How much is it now?
774.
Oh, cheap.
Okay, there's assistant camera interface. What does that mean? For your assistant to see what you're filming, or?
Don't even know, man.
Magnesium mount, okay? We're just talking about a mount that puts the lens on. 564 euros.
Yeah, man. Welcome to Red.
Here's my, okay, quick question. Without you throwing anyone under the bus, how much of that is extremely high quality, epic shit versus how much of that is just overpriced? You know, like the stand from the MacBook Pro, the one that looks like a cheese grater, is like 700 euros or some shit.
Yeah, I must say, every Red product is extremely high quality. Like, you hold it in your hand and you're like, okay, this shit is good.
Okay,
it's really, really good. But then I don't know, man. Like, probably 20% is the brand. But it's really good. Like, the quality of everything is phenomenal, I must say.
What do they shoot? What's like a cinema video camera? Like Dune. What did Dune get shot on?
I don't even know.
What would you guess?
I mean, obviously IMAX. That would be obviously IMAX, I'm guessing.
But is that a camera?
IMAX camera. Yeah.
So there's actual cameras that are called IMAX.
I mean,
is that a brand?
I don't even know, to be honest. Like, but it's shot on IMAX film.
Okay,
I think it's called an IMAX camera.
So
what many
film is not digital? It's shot on
no analog
roll thingy.
Yeah,
no way.
But a lot of movies are shot on Red. So I think Jurassic Park, the newer ones are shot on Red.
Oh, Jurassic World.
Don't hang me up on that fact. It could be that it's wrong, but there are many big blockbuster movies are shot on Red. Even more are shot on Ari. It's kind of like
Ari, I've heard.
Yeah, so it's Ari and Red are like the two big brands.
I've had a guy once. Shout out to Matthias from Copenhagen. He was just an RSD fan back in the days, and he's like, I'm also a professional filmmaker. Can I shoot a video with you? And he had an Ursa Mini.
Yeah, that's Black Magic.
Yeah, so that's
Black Magic Ursa Mini. That's not really used for movies, but for bigger like commercial projects and stuff.
And those were insane. Like, the stuff he shot literally looked like a movie.
Yeah.
We shot just some random. It was a cool video. It was a motivational video from my dating brand back then, but literally he made it look like a Michael Bay movie.
like lens flares all over the place.
Oh, literally
explosions.
Literally without explosions. But he was like, man, that was like when Transformers was a big thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, we're going to shoot like Michael Bay. And what he does is, number one, he got all the lens flares in. And number two, so what Michael Bay does is he does these like counter diagonal moves or something with the camera. So when someone moves from left, from the back of the vision to the front, from left to right.
And then the background moves really fast.
Exactly.
The prospect is like in the middle.
Exactly. So he would move from right to left, from the front to the back, and he's like, okay, you just walk from here like this, and he would counter.
It's called parallax effect.
Oh, that exactly. Parallax effect. Thank you. That was the thing he did. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Real quick interlude. The sponsor of this video is nobody. I got my own business. Maybe I'll get a sponsor at some point that I really believe in. But until then, I only ask for two things. Number one, if you're listening and if you enjoyed this podcast episode so far and you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating. There's like a star thingy. Just tap the 5-star. It would help me rank higher on those platforms. And if you're watching this on YouTube, that's the second thing. Give it a thumbs up and drop a comment, a request of what you want us to talk about next time, a guest request, anything that you learned, or maybe you just want to tell me that I'm an idiot. Either way is fine. Drop a comment, drop a like. That really helps me grow this podcast more. It allows me to get more awesome guests on, just like I've had so far, and it allows me to reach more people entirely for free. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. And now let's crack back into it. So do you consider yourself more a videographer or more of a business owner nowadays?
Nowadays, 100% more business owner.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because of the fact that I transitioned into that role, kind of, because I started to enjoy doing business and I started to enjoy sales, right?
Yeah, same.
So I'm 100% a business owner now, but I still consider myself a videographer, you know, but I'm not like out shooting projects. I'm not.
Yeah. It was the same for me. It's like I started as a coach, as a dating coach, and then as a business coach, and now it's transitioned much more into just business owner.
Yeah.
Where I have a great team of coaches. I mean, I still coach a ton, just like you as well. Like, I actually coach my clients.
Yeah.
Every single week, I got a lot of one-on-one clients. But then at the same time, I'm like, my brain the predominant thought direction my brain is going into is like thinking about the business in terms of like customer retention, marketing here, sales here, team leadership. How can we make the product that we're doing better? It's really funny. That's why I wanted to ask you too. And do you nerd out on movies? Is that a thing that you're into? Like,
it's funny, not that much.
Okay.
To be honest, so it's not like I'm geeking out over holy shit, Oppenheimer.
yeah,
Like, I'm not really doing that. I love watching movies, but what's funny is when I watched movies a couple of years ago, I literally looked at, oh shit, how did they take this shot? Like, how did they do this? How did they do that?
What I mean, yeah.
And now I just watched a movie.
Ah,
It's funny because when it's kind of like when you start driving a car, right? Like in the beginning, when you get driven by people and you're not of age to drive yourself, you never really care about mirrors.
Yeah.
And then once you drive yourself, like you check the mirrors when somebody else is driving.
Yeah.
And I think I'm never really going to lose it. I'm still seeing things in movies where I'm like, ha, fail there. Ha,
Oh, no
there's
shit.
like a fail. Ha, there's a fail. There's a cut that didn't match. Like all these things, I spot it immediately, but I don't pay attention to it. Like I still just enjoy the movie, you know.
Do you have any sort of cinematographers or movies where you're like, that one's like a masterpiece in terms of being shot? Do you have any of that?
In terms of being shot, I mean, certainly Oppenheimer is phenomenal.
Who's the cinematographer? Do we know?
It's Christopher Nolan, I think so, yeah.
But he does the cinematography there as well. I thought he's just directing. Because usually it depends on the director. Some director have a lot of say in the DP and the
Yeah, and sometimes like Michael Bay, who does both.
Christopher Nolan does himself too. Yeah, the director, but who's the cinematographer?
The DP.
Yeah, the DP of Oppenheimer. That'd be interesting. Because a lot of Nolan's movies are insanely very beautiful. Also,
Interstellar, of course, like
super fucking beautiful,
amazing.
Yeah,
like Interstellar, amazing movie. Obviously, Inception, right?
Same,
phenomenal.
Exactly, yeah.
Besides that,
you know,
Star Wars.
That was fun. You got me there. I actually think the new ones they have pretty nice cinematography.
Yeah,
it's just,
and honestly,
it's just got the reputation got worse because of all the woke stuff around it.
Here's the thing, okay? Star Wars, the new ones, my opinion, this might be I don't know.
Ooh, that's got to be a real clip right there.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So the new Star Wars movies are way better than the old ones. Like, they're way funnier. They're way better shot. I like the story more. And everybody's like, yeah, bring old Star Wars back. It's like, no, man, the new ones are epic. Go Disney, man.
But do you compare to the prequels or compare to the original trilogy?
I would say compared to the prequels.
Even the prequel. Okay, so here's my take on Star Wars. And I love that you said that because, okay, let's see, who's the DP? Hoyote van... Okay, is that a real name? Hoyte van Hoyteman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Hoyte van Hoyteman. Yeah, of course.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, of course.
Hoyte van
Verstappen's brother, man.
Yeah. And did he... Can you... Wait, hold on. So that's the director of photography for Oppenheimer. I'm checking if he's...
Yeah, Hoyte.
He also did Tenet, apparently. True. Of course, another... so he's known for Tenet. Nope. Ooh, that's a good one.
Tenet is really good too.
Oh, Interstellar. There we go. Dunkirk as well. Okay.
Dunkirk as
well, Dunkirk is insane, man.
True.
Okay, so here's my take on Star Wars. So I actually I grew up with the prequels, right? That was like when I was in elementary school. Loved them. I can still watch them. I still like the prequels very much. The original trilogy, here's the funny thing. It's like the original trilogy, I like the first one, is doable. I love the second one, episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. Like, that's one thing. It's like one of my earliest childhood memories. I'm like walking in on my dad, watching it on the Hoth battle scene with the AT-ATs walking. Like, what the hell is it? What? The thing is a lightsaber. That was cool. And then I rewatched, just a couple of years ago, I watched the original trilogy. And yeah, episode 4, you can really tell it's old.
Yeah.
I'd say, okay, that's kind of shitty. Episode 5 is still cool. Episode 6 is just dog shit. I'm like, what the hell is this? With these like little teddy bears, it was so dumb.
But dude,
they're cute, but they're so dumb. Like that, you got these Imperial troopers trained to kill, and then these teddy bears in the woods. They throw like tree trunks on it, you know.
What are they called again?
Ewoks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, the sixth one's really dumb. Plus, I found it kind of anticlimactic. The maybe I gotta rewatch it, but like the whole character arc of Luke. Yeah. Let's watch the whole weekend. And anyways, like and then the new ones came out, the Disney ones. And episode 7 was basically like, let's go super safe and just repeat episode 5.
Yeah.
Instead of a Death Star, you got Starkiller Base. And then episode 8 came out. And I honestly, and you could literally see this, that was back then when Snapchat was a thing. And because Snapchat had stories before Instagram had it, I literally put up a story on Snapchat back in this, like 2018 or 17. Right after the movie, I'm like, this is hands down the best Star Wars I've ever seen. The Last Jedi completely saved the entire franchise. I really, 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 true to my heart, think that The Last Jedi is still the best, or the best Star Wars movie that ever came out, because Bryan Johnson just really tried something else, especially after the predictability of episode 7, him painting Luke in this picture that he's not the hero that everybody expected, but he's this broken hero who gave up on the Jedi and everything they stood for. And like, I was like, yes, that's what the franchise needs. It's something new, a new direction. Don't give me this predictability shit. I really fucking loved it. I thought it was fucking great. Even with the side story of Cantoba, where they go there and then they have to get the key box hacker man, whatever, the master thief, they have to get him. And then he betrays them. So basically that whole side quest of Cantoba was in vain. Yeah, well, guess what? That's the life. Like, sometimes you do go try something and then it doesn't work. So I liked that. I thought it was very realistic. And then episode 9, just complete dog shit. Like, it was so, like, that's where the wokeness became ridiculous. Like, in episode 8, I didn't mind. I'm like, yeah, they had some woke agenda a little bit with some fucking, the woman was the captain of the ship, so she made the decision because the guy just wanted to blow up things. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm fine with me. And then episode 9 was just like, yeah, and then we're gonna have a lesbian kiss here.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, look,
it just gets too much.
Do I care if people are lesbian? I have lesbian friends. I don't give a shit. Yeah. But like, is it necessary? Like, it's such a fake thing. Like, okay, now the two old ladies kiss. So I'm like, don't jam it down my throat.
But dude, that's why I said, once James Bond is a female, I'm out. I'm done. Like, fuck that.
But here's the thing, just to wrap up that thought, like, that's not why I think episode 9 is bad. I just think it's a shitty movie. It's just a bad fucking movie. So, for example, there's great examples of great female leads where the movie's actually good. Alien Trilogy. Amazing. Sigourney Weaver, one of the most badass female leads ever. Terminator 2. One of the best. I don't have a problem with that. Make me neither. Fucking movie.
Me neither.
But the movie itself just sucked. It was like, somehow Palpatine returned. Like, that's the explanation. It was like, really? You guys couldn't come up with a better, like, you guys got billions and you couldn't come up with a better story of, I quote, this literal quote from the movie, somehow Palpatine returned.
Really is it?
It was literally the movie. And I'm watching this like, what the fuck?
Somehow.
It's literally what they say. And with all the reshoots and stuff like that, so apparently they reshot the ending like 1,000 times or whatever. So anyways, distracting, but they're shot very nicely.
Yeah.
I think the cinematography is very, very good.
Yeah, true.
Specifically episode 7, I was like, this is great cinematography. I really enjoyed that. And what I liked about episode 7 is they had so many there's comparisons where they compare historical video footage with the movie. So for example, they took like crazy speeches from Germany, from the Nazi party, and then they took the same angle and put it into like the speech that they did on Starkiller Base, where General Hudson or whatever his name is was doing a speech to all the stormtroopers. And I'm like, wow, that's like they took the strong iconography and they put it in this, okay, those are the bad guys, right? Oh, you know the bad guys from the 1940s? Those are bad guys in the future, you know? So I really like that. They had some cool parallels.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really freaking interesting. Like, cinematography is like a thing that you can really, really nerd into, because I believe like if you shoot a great story and you put it into like a nice looking shots, it hits you much differently.
That's true. For me, it really depends what the movie is. An example, Batman. Dude, I'm nerding about.
Is that why I got the tattoo, the Batman?
I mean, multiple reasons. So the reason why I got the Batman tattoo was, and I thought I'm never gonna get a tattoo, and it's the only one I have.
Same for me.
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
I literally thought there's videos of me from my old dating channel where I did like a Q&A and someone asked, "Are you ever gonna get tattoos?" I'm like, "No." That's literally me.
Okay, you man, you are a tattoo.
Yeah.
So the reason why I got the Batman tattoo was because I was thinking about Batman all the time in everything I did. And I don't know why, but for some reason, like, when I had to make a decision, I was like, oh, what would Batman do? Because he inspires me so much, and the story inspires me so much because he's kind of like the good guy, but he also struggles with many things, but he always kind of makes the right decision. You know, it's like he does what's right. And that is one of my favorite things I ever heard as well. It's like doing the right thing is always the right thing. And I think that is Batman, plus him being rich as fuck, doing the coolest shit ever, right? Yeah. So that for me is like the perfect kind of hero who I aim to be. I'm not going to dress up and run around during the night, but
maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows? You and Jeremy Moser, one of my mentors, shout out. You're both these like Swiss guys. And what I like about both of you guys is like none of you is claiming to come from nothing. You know, my family was poor. I had no food. No, you're like, you guys are Swiss. So you guys are pretty rich already. So what's your family background? So your dad's a surgeon. Yeah. It's Switzerland, so people can do the math.
Yeah.
What does your mom do?
She's working. I mean, it's not a nurse, but kind of a nurse. Mm-hmm. So basically, she treats people that my dad did operations on.
Oh, cool. Really? Yeah. In the same hospital?
Yeah.
Is that how they met?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. What a cute story. Man.
Yeah, really, really. And the thing about both of them is they love their jobs. Like, my dad got offered jobs from private clinics where he would literally earn like 5 times as much, right? And he said no, because private clinics decline certain patients. And he said, I'm a surgeon to help people.
Wow.
So, like, really, really inspiring. And my mom as well, like, I think they donate the entire salary of my mom, like every single month. Donate the entire salary. And they don't care. It's like they make enough money to live very, very comfortably, right? They go and travel and they enjoy their life. And they really care about other people. So super, super inspiring. And that's one thing that I got from my dad too, is like whenever we were out as kids, whenever somebody came with us to a restaurant or to an amusement park or whatever, he was always the one who paid for everybody, right? And I think that also had a big impact on me and why I wanted to make money, to be able to invite everybody. And now I do this the exact same way. Like yesterday, you got me first, but but usually, like, I invite everybody always wherever I go, and it just leaves me with such a good feeling. And I got that inspiration from my dad. But to answer your question, like, how was growing up? So both parents work in a hospital, meaning I didn't see my dad a lot, right? Because he was working like all the time, kind of. As a surgeon, it's freaking crazy. But they always took very, very good care of me. They were always super supportive. Like, I obviously could take part in any sports that I wanted. I could do whatever I wanted. And I think that support is ultimately also what gave me confidence to try new things, because they were not holding me back. And I think that resulted into where I am now. I'm just trying shit. And if I'm good at it, I'll keep going. And if I'm bad at it, but I really want to be good at it, I'll keep going too. So,
did your parents ever push you to stay consistent with something, or were they like nicer parents that were like, hey, if you don't want to do it, just don't go?
It's actually an interesting question, because my dad was always beefing with me because I was trying new things all the time.
Yeah.
And then my mom was always beefing with my brother for other reasons.
Oh.
But that's kind of like how it worked. I don't know why. And then my sister was kind of like the nice.
Oh, you have a sister as well?
Yeah.
What does she do?
She does
younger sister,
work in a hospital as well. No, she's older than me as well.
So you're the youngest.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
But she's probably like the most grown up, like family, 2 kids now, soon 3 kids. And she's always been the correct one.
Same for my sister. It's really funny. I have a younger sister, and I'm like, you got life figured out more than I do. I just make money. That's kind of like all I'm good at, I guess.
Same.
And she's like family and marriage and dog, and now also kid. I'll be an uncle, and the kid is the date for the birth of my nephew is 4 days after my birthday.
Well, nice.
So I'm already gonna be his favorite uncle for sure. Anyways, so I'm really excited to be an uncle. Really, really.
Yeah, being an uncle is cool, to be honest. Like,
I mean, it must be. I mean, okay, for you, like your whole family is probably balling enough. But like for me, I'm like, I'll be the uncle that has the cool car and stuff like that, and it can like do all the cool stuff. So yeah. Just to get back to the money-making topics, you told me this yesterday, you're also doing skydiving, man.
Yeah, man.
And you got the license and everything.
Yes. Yeah, I started doing it in November 2022. I wanted to do it for a long time. Long time. But you know what? If you don't have money, you're not going to go skydiving, man.
Yeah, true. How much did it cost to get the whole...
It was less expensive than I thought. Total cost, everything included, was like $9,000.
No shit.
It wasn't that much.
With the parachute.
But if you're running a video business and you're making $3,000 a month, you're not going to pay that $9,000, I'll tell you.
Do you need to own your own parachute, or do you just get it? Or?
No, you always rent one. And basically, it doesn't make sense to own one until you're at a certain skill level, because basically, like with skydiving, the better you get, the smaller your parachute gets, because then you have like you're more flexible in the air, kind of like you're faster, you can do more stuff. And until you're at a certain size where you're going to stay for a long time, it doesn't make sense, because otherwise you would need to replace it like very fast. So
what do you mean you need to replace it?
Because you downgrade to a smaller one, and if if you buy one immediately once you have the license, you get a huge ass parachute, because you're not kind of like approved to jump on smaller chutes.
Yeah, okay.
And then you would need to replace it as soon as you downgrade. So. And
you always need to pack it yourself. Is that the rule, right?
No, actually not. So in Dubai with rental parachutes, you're not even allowed to pack them.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So like they have packers there, right? And they pack the chutes. They're super efficient. Like they do it in freaking 5 minutes. Boom, packed. Like if I do it, it takes me 45 minutes.
For anyone wondering, I'm eating the Swiss chocolate that Nick brought.
Best Swiss chocolate.
From Switzerland, and it's really good. Did you eat a whole piece now? You want to eat the rest? Eat up, man, please. So the whole last 3 days...
Max has just been eating chocolate.
I've been eating like 5 to 6 bars per day of this. Anyways, so one thing you just told us, we were watching a Formula One sprint race, and you just casually like, oh yeah, I went skydiving with Lewis Hamilton. And I'm like, okay, keep it for the podcast. So drop this now, please.
So I always say it like that, right? And then I tell the story. So basically, when I did my license, right, I had a coach who obviously was jumping with me all the time, teaching me how to skydive. And this guy, like, dude, 30,000 jumps. Like, he's been literally doing nothing else but skydiving for the last 30 years.
Wow.
Every single day, right? Traveling to whatever destinations, just skydive. So absolutely phenomenal coach, really experienced guy. And then one day I come in, and I went there every single day. And one day I come in, and he was like, "Yeah, today we have a VIP." Ooh. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Who is it?" And he was like, "I'm not really allowed to tell."
Oh.
And I'm like, "Okay." And then a couple jumps later, I ask him again, like, "So who is it?" He's like, "Okay, don't tell anyone." And I was like, "Okay, who is it?" And he's like, "It's Lewis Hamilton." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he was on the plane with us before." And I was like, "Dude, fucking tell me, man!" Like, I didn't even realize I'm on the same plane with Lewis Hamilton skydiving, and I just learned about it once I was already back on the ground.
So you didn't even see him?
No, I saw him, but I didn't realize it was him, because everybody's wearing a helmet, right? Everybody's wearing all their skydiving gear. But there are a lot of celebrities jumping in Dubai, for sure.
I mean, it's a good thing to do. Because you're wearing a helmet so you can kind of mix in with everybody else.
Yeah,
and
100%.
you don't get bothered and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you wouldn't get bothered otherwise anyways, because it's just like the skydiving community is weird, right? You have two types of people in there. Number one, super nerds, like who are just all about skydiving, living in trailer parks next to the drop zone, zero money, nothing. They spend everything they have on skydiving. That's one type of person that you have. And the other person is the rich entrepreneur. I actually jumped with another guy. He's the CEO of BIC. Do you know BIC? The pen company, the lighter company, BIC.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a really interesting thing because I jumped with him multiple times. And then we had this conversation. I didn't know who he was. And we had this conversation. He asked me what I do, I asked him what he does. And then first I told him about my company, right? And I told him what we do. And he was like, oh, nice, cool. And usually when I tell people about my company, they're like, oh, wow, that's kind of impressive, But for him, it was like, nice, cute.
Nice little
Cute. So I asked him what he does, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm the CEO of BIC. I was like, oh, okay. So how much revenue are you guys making? And he's like, like 5 million a day. Like, okay, nice. So that's really cool actually about skydiving. You get to know other entrepreneurs who make a ton of money, or brokies who are just really, really nerdy, but they are obviously the guys that coach you because they're fucking good at it.
Here's the funny thing, like, I remember BIC because I kept chewing on them in school and reading the BIC logo on the little pen that I would
pen
chew.
cap.
Yeah, on the pen cap, yeah. When you said they make 5 million revenue a day, but they're selling fucking pens that cost like 90 cents each, and lighters, that's right. How many do they sell per day to make that? You know what I mean? Because it's different to say, yeah, we're a consulting company,
them,
right? And we make like 100K per client, so we make 5 million a day. That's, I'm like, yeah, that checks off.
Yeah.
That checks up, but like you're selling pens. We even make this funny joke. Have you ever heard? It's like, how do you make $1 million? Well, you either get like 10 clients that all pay you 100K, or you sell a pen 1 million times. Like you sell a $1 pen 1 million times.
Their pens are certainly not $1.
Exactly.
But then they also do other stuff. Like he told me they're into how do you say, like tattoos that only they only show for like 2 weeks.
Oh, biodegradable tattoos?
Yeah, kind of. So they do that too. Yeah, that's them too. So they do a lot of stuff. Recently I saw a freaking inflatable boat that was big, and I was like, okay, they do boats now.
Yeah, it's crazy how some companies branch out, like Nokia. Yeah. I remember, like I was in a bathroom in Finland, and the dispenser for the toilet paper was Nokia.
Yeah,
like, what about how you guys do it? Yeah, it's weird. Like at a certain size, I guess you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, you're just adding products.
What we want to do, we'll do it.
100%. But that's a completely different league. Like, and this guy, he was so cool. Like, he was literally so cool. Like, so down to earth. Just talking to me as if I was just another dude, and he's another dude. It's like,
how old is he?
I think in his early 50s, late 40s.
Did he build it, or did he inherit it?
It's a family business.
Family business.
Yeah, he's like, I think he's third generation.
Wow. Here's the thing. Because he said, like, he was so cool, and, he treated you like anybody else. Like, that is a ply that we entrepreneurs of this generation have, because part of our business is flexing to a degree. If you really think about it, it kind of is. Although, it depends on what niche you're in. I don't flex around with rented Lambos or something like that.
Yeah.
Although I did in the past. If you check out some of my old content. But it's still like this watch. Like, I didn't get into watches because I was passionate about watches.
Yeah.
I got my first Rollie because my back then mentor told me I should get one. It will help marketing. And then I'm like, cool. Well, if I buy an even more expensive Rollie because I make even more money, it's even better marketing, and so on and so forth. The guy from BIC is like, the fuck would I give a shit if I have a Rollie?
Yeah.
I don't know if he has one or not, but it wouldn't make a difference for his business. So a lot of these guys are very, very down to earth because they don't have this bravado. They don't need this bravado about their brand. I mean,
yeah, true.
You and I, we went for dinner yesterday as well. Food comes, phones comes out. Take photo of the phones. Oh, nice view somewhere on the cliffs. Let's go have the video. Like the guy from BIC was like, fuck, do I give a shit if I film this?
Yeah.
I'm not going to post. You know, like you think the guy's like an Instagram account. So that is a very, very different generation where this whole idea of like showing stuff, of building a brand has zero value for these folks.
Yeah.
And that's very, very weird. That is like the first real generation of entrepreneurs of us that actually deals with that. And it's very strange.
It is. It's actually funny that you say that because he, at the time, I think was just signing up with Gary Vee, like client of Gary Vee, to build his personal brand. So I think they don't need it, but since everybody from the younger generations is doing it, and they see the impact, it's like, oh, wait a second, maybe we can quadruple our revenue if I have a personal brand as well. And then there's Gary Vee, and it's like, oh, you're gonna build a personal brand. Mm-hmm. And then
it's like when you post, it's like I watch 13-year-old girls. They spend all their time on TikTok.
Yeah, it's so true. It's I think also there we have a huge advantage compared to these guys because we grew up with that. And we've talked about this before too. Is like how to use an iPhone for us. Yeah. Like whatever. Of course, you get a freaking iPhone. But like when I look at my dad, like how he has to like hold the iPhone far away, and then he didn't know. And like I told you, like he was one of the first people who had an iPhone. He didn't know that when you scroll up, it shows all the open apps. So I do this once, and he has like all the apps open that he ever opened. But there was like 50 apps. I'm like, that, you have all the apps open, and I swiped all up to get rid of them,
But here's the thing. We really grew up with that. We were kind of like the generation that transitioned to it.
True.
Because when we grew up, there were no iPhones.
That's very
There was no such thing as a MacBook. There were all these things did not exist.
Yeah.
And I see that actually as a curse for people, like for younger people nowadays. It's like, and I'm still young, but like even younger people that grew up with iPhones, dude, their freaking focus levels, everything destroyed. Like they don't even remember any time without phones because they didn't have it.
Yeah.
For us, at least it was some time.
Yeah.
So I think we just learned it faster because we're probably more, I don't know, interested than our parents.
That's a good point. I think also we collectively as humankind, we're gonna have issues that we're not aware yet with the attention span of our population. Yeah. Just like you said,
goldfish attention.
Yeah. I mean, there's always this like counter argument of like, yeah, goldfish attention, blah blah blah. But then at the same time, long form content like podcasts are hugely on the rise ever since.
True.
I mean, one of the most famous content creators on earth is Joe Rogan, who's known to just do 3-hour podcasts.
Yeah, but does anybody watch the podcast or do they do something else while they listen to the podcast?
Also, very good point. Also, very, very good point. But then again, like, you can still go to the movies and be immersed in films like Dune for 2.5 hours. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, we have to put conscious effort in it. I know it every day. I notice it every day. I have to put conscious effort in it to not go down too far into this like dopamine chasing short form content type of route. So I do meditate 15 minutes a day, not because I'm a Buddhist or anything like that, or because I'm sitting there, but just because like it kind of resets my urge to watch some quick 15-second video or go scroll through memes and stuff like that. And I feel that urge too is like, I'm a very, very, very disciplined person, and I'm very aware of that. But I also know that most people aren't aware of that. They're just in it. They're just in that hamster wheel of they're sitting in the metro, they're sitting in the bus on the way to their job, and what do they do? This.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are not aware of it. It's already really difficult for me, and I am aware, and I am disciplined.
Same.
So it's going to be interesting, but at the same time, that's what they said when newspapers came out. Remember, like, there's this photo of like everybody sitting on a tram in the 1920s, reading the newspapers, and they're like, "Oh, the death of conversation."
Yeah,
everybody just reads a newspaper,
and it didn't really hurt anyone.
There's a cool picture of somebody, kind of like a meme thing, but somebody says, "Yeah, this generation is fucked," and then you see like 2 young people on their phones while having dinner. And then there's like an old picture of 2 old people having dinner and they're both reading the newspaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly the same.
Exactly. There's this fun, like, because we talk about Gary Vee, one of my all-time favorite scenes. Maybe you can pull it up, pretty much. See if you can find it. There was this photo of this old lady meeting the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this was a famous photo that got viral as well because it was like 50 people that all met the Pope, and everybody had their phones out filming the Pope. And there was this one old lady that didn't have her fucking phone because she's an old lady, so she's just staring at the Pope, right? And then
taking it all in.
Exactly, and then the comments were like, "This lady is the only one who actually met the Pope because everybody else was busy with the phone." And then there was this video of Gary Vee's like, "Fuck that old lady. She's the only one who doesn't have a video of the Pope. What a fucking dumb lady." It's just like so good. Yeah, so that's the photo of the old lady. And then there's the video of Gary Vee just like, you know what? Fuck that old lady. Try to pull that, see if we can pull the video out. Like Gary Vee, fuck that old lady. Yeah, Pope lady. Yeah. So fucking funny. And I'm like, I respected the hell out of him for having the balls to just be like, fuck it, man.
Yeah,
like,
true.
yeah, fuck that old lady. She's the only one who doesn't have video of the Pope, which is kind of true. Like,
True.
she probably won't remember it after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know?
Good point.
Everybody else could still watch the video of the Pope.
Good point.
And,
You probably watched that more than the video of your fireworks from the years.
yeah,
But
the fucking fireworks. Here's the thing is like, I got 2 very cool hacks in my life that I figured out. Number one is I'm either always with my girlfriend or with Primoz, who always film everything. So I can always just enjoy the moment. Like, whatever we do, my girlfriend's going to film it. So I'm like, oh, cool, great, she's filming it. So I can enjoy the moment. And Primoz, of course, because it's his job. Yeah, we filmed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was pissed. We had the birds in my room. Yeah. The birds flew into my room and they just shat on everything. And he's just filming it. Yeah, that's a good point. I had a problem with your attitude as you were filming because you were like all laughing.
yeah, I heard it.
All my stuff was on the floor. There was shit, like bird poop in my bed. And he's filming, and if at least he was like sad and filming, you know, it's like, yeah, I was. At least he was shared my sadness and filmed while it would have been better. But he was just laughing while I'm trying to get the birds out of my room. Yeah, true. Yeah, again, you should have been sad when you.
Next time, just shut up and film, man.
Just have a tear, just fake sadness while you film it.
Oh, dude.
Did you find the video of Gary Vee and the old lady? Ah, too bad. I mean, it's hard to find Gary Vee videos because he has so many. You know, there's like a bazillion videos.
True. Content machine.
But then at the same time, you know, I'm totally fine because everybody's like, oh, social media is destroying the earth, blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm on the right side of it because I'm producing more than I consume. So, and everything I do consume, I don't consume it in a numb way. Like when I watch YouTube videos, I watch it about things that interest me. Actually, the other day, it was so funny. 2 days ago, I just went down a lobster rabbit hole. Literally, and it's so funny because I saw somewhere on a meme that lobsters don't actually die. Like they don't have natural death like we humans. So what they actually... theoretically, they could just infinitely grow.
What?
Yeah, and the only problem that they have is they need to change their shell.
Yeah.
It's called molting.
Yeah.
And they get rid of that hard because they have an exoskeleton, right? So the exoskeleton can't grow like our skin grows with our body size. So they need to molt their skin and then grow another one. And then that's a very intricate process because for like 2-3 days until the new skin hardens, it's very soft.
No, they're very vulnerable.
Exactly. So then I'm like, okay, so why can't we like just grow a lobster infinitely until it's Leviathan size? So I'm like, okay, well, ChatGPT that up. And I'm literally, and you can see it in my ChatGPT history, I'm like, is it theoretically possible to grow a Leviathan-sized lobster? And ChatGPT is like, well, theoretically it is, but it would underlie certain limitations. So I'm like, what are those limitations? So it's listing me up all the limitations, and I'm reading, 20 minutes in, I'm reading through the biological limitations of why lobsters probably won't be able to grow Leviathan-sized. And one is that the molting causes significant amount of energy that they need. So, they can't always get that energy because food is scarce.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, that's an argument I could see being disproven.
We can feed it.
Exactly. And then one of the other ones was then their system on how they breathe, their nervous system doesn't grow with them. So that was kind of like the thing that made me realize it won't work. So it's like the size of the gills doesn't enlarge. So the gills are always the same size, which means like the oxygen saturation in their blood is always gonna go down the further they grow.
Got it.
But anyways, I'm like, okay, I'm just taking all the arguments and arguing with ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, well, you say it needs more nutrients. Like, what if we would feed it? And then it says like, okay, well, we could feed it, but then it'd still have this problem. And then I'm like, all right, ChatGPT, imagine you're being tasked to grow a Leviathan-sized lobster. You have infinite resources. The entire world is working together on this project. So there's no limitations to the access to knowledge, access to experts, access to funds. Run me through your exact step-by-step process on growing a Leviathan-sized lobster. And then ChatGPT is like, all right, like step 1, research and development. And it just writes this article on how we would research. And then step 2 is build a team. And then it would be like, this is how I would find the experts in lobsters and nutrition for hard shell animals. And quite the whole thing. So that's what I did one evening when I went to bed early.
You know what?
I found out about lobsters.
That is the perfect example or the perfect proof that you have a business that's actually working. You have the time to fucking research how to grow a lobster to Leviathan size, man.
So it's true, actually. Like, that's what my brain... I had brain energy left in the evening. I spent it on that.
Oh, man.
The one surviving brain cell is like, is this a joke? Are you making fun of me? This is what you put me to work? But it's really interesting. Like, lobsters are crazy.
Yeah, lobsters are
There's so much stuff we do not know. What?
And tasty.
And tasty. Did you know that lobsters used to be poor people's food?
Yeah.
It used to be like prisoner food. They fed lobsters to prisoners. And then some guy was like, I can market that
To the rich, man. Let's make
Guys,
money.
I can fix this.
It's basically like a bug of the sea.
It's literally like a disgusting...
It's like a freaking cockroach of the ocean.
Cockroach of the ocean. That's literally what it is. It's like a giant, disgusting, slimy cockroach. I mean, look at lobsters are disgusting, man.
Yeah, true.
But they're also delicious. We should eat lobster. We're going to eat meze later today. They probably won't have lobster. But they got really good seafood here in Cyprus.
Nice.
We had shrimp. Yeah.
Shrimps, yeah.
What is shrimp? No, it wasn't shrimp. It was the bigger ones.
Yes.
What's bigger than a shrimp? Is it called a shrimp?
What's bigger than a shrimp?
No, yeah, I don't care. Whatever. I'm an ex-vegetarian. Don't ask me. What's kind of like your yearly routine? Because you mentioned yesterday you're staying away from winters. You spend them usually in Dubai.
Yeah.
Are there any other places that you visit frequently?
Right now, I must say I'm fully in hustle mode. So I have my place at home, right? My apartment is super nice. I have my office there. I have everything set up perfectly.
You have a treadmill desk?
I do have a
You
treadmill.
have a treadmill? Oh, that's right. I saw it on your stories. Yeah.
Another thing around amongst entrepreneurs, right? But dude, without that desk, I couldn't get my 12K steps in every day. Like, no chance. So I'm spending a lot of time there. But then also, like in winter, my girlfriend really loves skiing. So I obviously accompany her to go skiing. But I like warmth and I like the sun. So Dubai, if we go to a yearly routine, Dubai from like November to February, March, right? Then Switzerland, and in the middle of that Dubai stay, I always go home for Christmas.
That's nice.
But then summer in Switzerland, basically summer in Switzerland is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And then we usually have mastermind events. So an example, last year we went to Bali with our students.
Oh, cool.
Which was pretty cool. Or now I'm here in Cyprus, right? Just like smaller trips. But I spent most of my time in Switzerland.
Sick.
To be honest.
I mean, it's one of the best places on earth. It really can't get much better.
If the weather is nice, Switzerland is perfect.
Yeah, in summer. It's the same for Austria. You're in the mountains, you go into the lakes.
Yeah.
It's warm. The food, the air,
And
the water.
it's warm and not hot.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Exactly. And look, about the treadmill desk, I don't want to sound self-proclamating here, but I actually kind of think I kind of put this whole treadmill desk idea out there for everyone to copy. Literally, I had a treadmill desk. I don't know anybody that had a treadmill desk before me.
When did you get it?
2018.
I know somebody.
Oh, don't tell him. We're going to cut that out. But no. But I'm like, I remember specifically my thought process, okay? I was always sitting, and I have like really bad posture. Literally on this podcast, I already had really bad posture when I'm sitting. So I'm like, okay, let me stand, because then I'm upright. But then I had a standing desk, and what I saw then was that I would still have all my weight on one leg.
Yeah.
So my hip would be super unproportional.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was this thing, it's like a half ball that you can stand on that wiggles a little bit, so you're constantly kind of quote-unquote forced to shift your weight around, which is healthier. And then I'm like, well, why don't I get a treadmill underneath and I just walk, because then I'm also getting steps in.
Were there treadmill desks back then?
Yeah, so, and then we still had my offices in Kiev, and then I told my assistants, get me a treadmill desk thingy, and then they got me a treadmill desk, and it was really like nowadays you have walking pads, right, which are super thin, but I actually had a treadmill. Like, it was like...
So you cut off the armrest?
I don't know what they did. It was like a treadmill attached to a desk, right? The one we had in our office. It was a real treadmill.
I was like actually a treadmill desk.
Yeah, it was
because I have a desk and I have a treadmill.
No, like I think it was it was the desk was attached to the treadmill. No, but was the treadmill combined with the desk, or did they just push it underneath the desk? Oh, okay. Yeah. In my memory, it was like one thing. Yeah, and then after that, 2-3 years later, I got one for my personal place in Kiev, and that was like a walking pad. It was just like super thin. I'm like, oh, that is even cooler. And I had that, and I kept talking about it for years. And then one by one, more and more people got it. Until nowadays, I go follow some random Instagram hustler / entrepreneur on Instagram, and I got a treadmill desk. And I like to believe that it somehow got inspired by me.
I like it.
But who did you know beforehand that had one?
From my mentor, Jeremy Haynes.
Oh, okay.
He had it for a long time. And I got it.
He got it
from
me, man.
It could be. I can ask him.
Ask him that. Really interesting, man.
Yeah, man. It's actually a funny thing that you say that, because I think same thing here. Like, I've been an early adopter of so many things.
Yeah.
So many things. Like, dude, when literally nobody had a drone, I bought like the DJI Phantom, where you had to manually connect the battery to like a weird ass cable that every single time gave you an electric shock when you connected it. And then the camera didn't have a gimbal, so you attached it directly to the drone.
Oh, that's
GoPro
funny.
Hero 2.
Yeah.
And then the footage was like all shaking, and everybody was freaking out, like, holy shit, helicopter footage. Like, I didn't get that. Right? And all these, there were like certain instances, like 5-6 times where I got gear that nobody has ever heard of. And I was like, interesting. So now you're the treadmill guy.
Yes.
I'll give it to you.
Yes, it's official. Now, my dad actually had one of the first drones before DJI had him. These like quadcopter thingies where he put his DSLR camera. No, yeah, before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was as big as this table.
Damn, you with
like quad. It was horrendously expensive. It was like 10,000 euros or something. He had to put his Nikon camera to attach it and build it himself. Completely dumb, right? Like, if he had waited like one more year, DJI would have come out.
Couldn't have known.
He had to transport this giant thing on a truck attachment to his car, and because he's a photographer, right?
Yeah.
He's like, we're gonna be rich. We'll be the first ones, the only ones in the whole area that could take helicopter footage. And then, of course, DJI became so famous because the actual piloting of the thing was really automatic. So, I mean, nowadays, the Mavic Pro, something that we have is like you just start it in the middle of the wind and it automatically calculates the wind and stays static in the air. those quadcopter thingies before they were even called drones that my dad had, they didn't do any of that. Yeah. So you actually had to manually fly it, and there's one small little wind, it would blow it out of proportion. It would start swirling.
Drones crashed to walls.
Yeah. And do you remember was that you? No, I don't think so. Where Fabian crashed my drone onto a balcony in Miami, and it was like a closed down hotel. So the hotel was closed. It didn't exist. Just the empty building there.
No.
And he crashed it onto the balcony on the 10th floor, and we're like, "Yep, Joe, that's it."
See a drone.
And I literally sent the other videographer to buy a new one. 10 minutes later, we had a fresh one, out of the
power
box.
of money, man.
Exactly, because I'm talking into the camera, and I see the drone swirling around me, and I see it go up, and then onto the balcony, and I'm like, okay, let's cut there real quick, find out if we can get it. He's like, oh, the hotel is closed. Okay, can you go buy one? Just Google where the next place is. See you in 10 minutes.
But see, that's exactly it. Like a videographer who's making 2 or 3K a month, right?
Fucked, yeah.
They lose their drone. It's fuck my life. This is gone.
Yeah, true.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Right? Now I can't offer drone footage. Now I don't have money. And that's the point of making more money, so that if you run into a problem like that, it's not a problem.
I say it so many times with my clients that are at this mid-level where they're making 20, 30K a month, and so many of them for the first time make money. For the first time, they grind it out for a year of just which isn't fucking much. And you know what I mean? What is a year of grinding? What are you talking about? But now all of a sudden they're making money, and they're like, okay, now it's time for me. I made it. Now it's time for me to travel around to Dubai, start flexing and all that stuff. And I'm always like, look, if you grinded another year, you would easily make it from 20K to 100K. You have a cool team. They do 90% of the work. And now you just work on needle movers. No, you just want to be cool right now. You want to have the cool lifestyle right now. You don't want to grind it out. And what happens is when you're making 20, 30K alone, kudos to you, great and everything, but you're basically one car accident away from having zero income.
Fact.
When people had, when COVID was a thing, we've had clients that just got COVID for a month, couldn't work for a month. And they're like, all my money's gone. Oh, that's it. I'm fucked. So I always say, just like you said correctly, try to push a little harder, try to make some extra money, because if you really want to be safe, make about 100K a month, have a little bit of a team, and then a lot of shit can happen. You can break your foot, you could have a car accident, you can have COVID, you're still making money.
Yeah. That's so true. I experienced exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, when I was just with my business partner, I realized when he was sick, even then, 2 people, he was sick, everything was on my shoulders, everything. If I would have gotten sick too, you're done. And nowadays, when I have my team, I could literally not work, and the same things would still happen. I mean, obviously, I impact the business, and obviously, if I don't do content over the long term, it will decline 100%. But it's still, I can go for a couple of weeks without lifting a finger, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The company still works.
That's the beauty, man. That's the beauty. So you got most of your clients, or all of your clients, from Instagram, right? That's your main channel?
Yeah, 90%-ish.
Interesting. So was that always the goal? Is that something you kind of slipped into, that Instagram turned out to be the best converting channel for you? Or walk me through that.
I mean, I just saw other people crush it on Instagram, and then I wanted to do the same. And actually, Jeremy Moser, he
shout out,
slid into my DMs.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I thought you guys were childhood friends or something.
No, not at all. He actually followed Jeremy Haynes, and then he saw that Jeremy reposted my story when I was at his house for his mastermind. And he's like, oh, wait a second, that's a Swiss guy. Which is weird, because in Switzerland, you don't have many entrepreneurs, right? Mm-hmm. Many are just, the classical 9-to-5ers. So he reached out to me, slid into the DMs and said yo, what's up, man? Let's meet. And so we connected. And then when I started the coaching side of things, he gave me a ton of inputs, hey, dude, try this. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy, he's the content goat, right?
Yeah.
So almost every single day, he sends me a link or an idea. And I mean, I'm not paying him. I'm not working with him. And he's like, try this. Now do this. And it's he's so proactive. And I think maybe also because of his influence, we put more attention towards Instagram. To be fair, I would like to be a little bit more spread out, having other channels too. We do YouTube and we do ads as well, but Instagram is certainly the one thing that works the best.
Interesting, man. Interesting. And do you get people from inbound on Instagram, or do you DM them, or how does it work?
So basically the strategy is, like, I produce content. I've been religiously posting daily. I've probably missed 10 posts in the last 2.5 years. And I do post daily on feed and stories. And basically when somebody follows us, right, we DM them. When somebody engages with the content, we DM them. When somebody engages with the stories, we DM them. And then we have the conversation script. And we book appointments from that. And then
it's such a crazy thing. It's such a niche. And that's so funny because a lot of people always say, like, yeah, but with the coaching thing, is like, isn't it going to be oversaturated at some point? But what it really does is it trickles down, meaning in the beginning, you're a coach for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Then you're a coach for entrepreneurs of a certain sub-niche.
Yeah.
And then that sub-niche creates several other sub-niches and so on and so forth. So you're a great example of that. Is like, you're not a business coach, you're not a videographer, you're a business coach for videographers. And also there, you're not teaching a videography, you teach people who already know videography how to sell.
Sub-niche.
Exactly. And that's really interesting. And then, arguably, the mindset coach in your company does mindset coaching within a videography business coaching program to videographers. So the more, it's almost like a tree, like the higher that tree grows, the bigger, the more the total amount of coaches that is out there, the more branches exist and sub-branches and sub-branches of the sub-branches that you can basically use to niche yourself in and become a household name in that.
100%.
And what I find interesting is, like, your Instagram. How many followers you got on Instagram right now?
84,000, something like that.
Like, that is crazy. And those are arguably all videographers.
Yeah.
Like, who, you almost wouldn't think that many videographers exist.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. There are a lot of videographers, like a lot. The problem is that out of these 84,000, probably, I would say 40,000 are either bank account zero or in debt. And then you have probably, I don't know, like 1,000 who could start right away because they have the money. And then the remainings are anywhere between, like, having very little money to struggling, maybe could afford it one day, right? So it's still a kind of 1 to 3% thing, as it is in every market where you have people that are actually ready to buy.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting to see because there are coaching programs out there that teach videographers videography, and they have 60,000 paying clients.
Wow.
And it's like, wait a second, there is way more people than I actually thought. And I think that's a mistake that many coaches make when they think, oh no, I can't go into a sub-niche, there's way too little people. Like, there is way more than you think. There is way more. So, yeah, that was one of the biggest learnings in the last couple of years.
When you say a lot of these people, they really want to get better, but they need to save up more and so on and so forth, I'd be curious because there's always kind of like two camps when it comes to that. Camp one is like, we try to sell them, and if they don't buy, fuck them. Which is totally fine too, right? Why would you want to waste time with people that can't afford it? And there's camp two is like, I don't care, I'll just nurture them up for the next 6 to 12 months until they're able to buy from us. And now you're creating this huge pipeline, but you also make a much more sales. What do you guys do with people that can't afford it?
Dude, we deliver them value. So in example, literally yesterday at like 11 or like 10 p.m. After we came home from dinner, right? We closed a guy, pay in full.
Nice.
And this guy literally wrote in the chat when we welcomed him, he wrote, hey, I've been wanting to join this for over a year now.
Nice.
Literally yesterday, right? So we keep them warm by delivering content that is valuable, by putting out stuff that actually helps people. I also give away a lot of free stuff. Like an example, I give away a lot of contract templates because that's one thing they struggle with, or invoice templates, or discovery call scripts. Or if somebody really went through my YouTube channel, and we actually had this happened once, where a guy came onto a sales call and he said, oh, this whole Video Business Academy thing sounds nice, but I already got everything together. I literally built it from watching the YouTube videos and the Instagram content. I was like, impressive.
But even then, because that's really funny that you mentioned that, because a lot of coaches, they're afraid of doing that.
Yeah.
For them, it's like a catastrophe. Like, oh no, now I lost a sale because I gave out too much value. But you know what? If someone literally would come to you that's like, I don't need your program anymore because I already went through all the stuff, be like, yeah, cool. So you're ready to go into the advanced right away. Arguably even sell them on the higher thing right away. You know?
Of course.
So it's funny because I've been in both camps. I've been in camp of completely deliver everything you got for free. That was what we did with RSD. And then whenever I did bring out a high-ticket program, we did get it a lot, about once a week, where someone is like, I already know everything I need to know. I just need to execute it. So no need for me to join a program. Yeah. And then I was in the other extreme camp, I would say in the first 2 years of Freedom Business Mentoring, where we were like, fuck it. Don't give out any info. Just tell them that there's the great opportunities out there, that they can make it, empower people by telling them that there is a chance that they can make it. But don't give them any how-to instructions. Mm-hmm. And now I'm back in the middle, where I would say give them a ton of really awesome stuff. Give them some really deep shit that you used to only give out for paid clients. Yeah. But at the same time, also make sure that they still learn something new when they come in, Yeah. And sorry, we also do the same with the hyping. Like, we have so many clients that just come to us like after a year of just being hyped the whole time. And like, our sales guys are really good at actually building relationships. So when someone comes to do a call of ours, can't afford it, okay, they just get nurtured the shit out of.
I think you're more in the value camp than you think, man. Because I was working while you recorded this freaking 1 hour or 2 hour YouTube video. And I listened to it and was like, dude, if you're giving that away for free, that is so valuable. If somebody actually does it, if somebody actually takes the information and implements it, they're going to see results from that one YouTube video, right? So what I'm thinking is, you, as well as me and many others, give away so much value, but people are just too fucking lazy to do it.
100%. They're too lazy, and they still want hand-holding too. Yeah, there's like 4 different kinds of learning or something like that. It's the visual learning, the audio learning, the social learning, which means and then the doing learning, the haptive learning, and the people who can learn from any of them, like, they're super duper rare. And I think that's you and that's me as well. Like, I can listen to an audiobook, I know what to do. I watch a video, I know what to do. I have someone do it with me, I know what to do. So, but most people aren't like that. Most people need it spoon-fed. Most people need someone that they can ask questions and all that jazz. I'm more like someone of, like, when I have a question, I don't even want to ask someone. I just want to find it. I'm like, ChatGPT, Google me the Leviathan. Like, that's me. Like, I don't like asking people stuff because I always feel like it's a clunky process. Like, I need to phrase my question properly for the other person to understand it, and then they need to phrase their answer for me properly. But whereas if I do my own research, that's how I can learn the fastest, because I actually feel like verbal communication is kind of like really clunky way of communicating. Excuse me. That's why I think it's kind of like the easiest to just research. But again, like, that's me. But and to go full circle with what you said, is like, most people, even if they have the information, they need the feedback loop. They need the person that actually cares to say, hey, have you implemented this? And that's why, just like you said, even if you over-deliver on your content, people are still going to buy from you. And even if they 100%. Don't, because they think you gave too much value, then just upsell them to the more advanced program.
100%. But for us, like, the accountability part of the program is such a good selling point.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously, if somebody gets their hand held and they get guided step by step through the process, and we're literally like mommy and daddy telling them, hey, did you do your homework? Then it just helps, especially nowadays that we talked about the goldfish brain before. Yeah. It's like, it's so much easier to just have somebody tell you to do what you need to do, and then you just do it instead of trying to figure it out yourself.
Yeah. So 100%, man. Sheesh. How long have we been chatting now? 2 hours?
More than 2 hours.
Dang you. Nick, where can people find you?
Easiest way, Instagram at I'm Nick Metzger. Or if you want to go the long form route, then Nick Metzger on YouTube.
Website, nickmetzger.com. Do you have a website?
Yeah, actually we do.
I never checked. It's just a funny thing. Like, people always like, oh, I need a website. And like most people I talk to, I don't even know their website. It's always just Instagram or YouTube.
So funny. No, website is moneytree.consulting.
Oh, wait, what? Moneytree? That is such a cool freaking website. And
our
consulting.
company name is Moneytree Consulting.
That's so funny. Hey, how did you get a dot consulting? I didn't even know you could buy it. Dot consulting.
Just buy it.
That is funny, man. All right, so folks, check him out. Check Nick Metzger out. He's a top G in his branch, and a really, really cool guy. Highly disciplined, highly creative, highly intelligent, and he knows Lewis Hamilton personally. So
yeah, we will leave it at that. If you were the inventor of the treadmill desk, I know Lewis Hamilton personally.
Exactly. That's we're gonna wrap things up like that. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Thanks for being on the podcast, man.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate the hell out of you, man. And GG. And if you get inspired by Nick, by our stories, by this whole idea of traveling the world, being your own boss, monetizing something that you're passionate about, that you're good in, then go ahead and book a free call with us. You can do that over by maxtornow.com/call. There you can book your exact date and time where you want to be patched through to me directly or an expert from my team. We can help you with your business idea if you just want to get started. We can help you if you're already coaching, consulting, or service providing, but you don't know how to get more clients. You want to automate this whole thing. That's also the call for you. And especially if you're already making 10, 20, 30K a month with your own business, you want to scale and automate that all the way up to $500,000 a month. We can help you with that. Like I said, maxtornow.com/call is the URL. Thank you so much for watching / listening. Appreciate the hell out of you, and talk soon. Bye-bye.